I wasn't really going to do this video so early, but like I just really want to talk, so I'm gonna talk. Lately, well, let me start by saying I am off Instagram in the sense that like I'll still like scroll every now and then, but I'm gonna be off of Instagram and social media in general for a bit, except for Lemonade. I use Lemonade as like a journal, and yeah, Instagram, I do the same with Instagram, but I realized the more I use Instagram, or lately, or for a while rather, when I use Instagram, my mental health literally deteriorates. So in a way that is more fulfilling to my spirit, as a digital journaler. Yeah, most of my posts will be on Lemonade while I navigate this season of my life. Now, what I wanted to talk about was something that I'm starting to practice, or that I've started to try to focus on practicing as of last week, is being bored. And what that looks like for me as I navigate my boredom. My goals in this is to connect with my body and my mind more, to filter my thoughts, and to filter my thoughts to see which ones serve me and which ones don't, to slow down, to go within myself in a way that I haven't gone within myself since childhood, really. Now, what prompted my practice of boredom is I was reading a post on Instagram last week that was saying how boredom as a child, you did things like you drew, you went outside, you played, your brain came up with questions about the world, and I don't know, it was slower. And as I reclaim my boredom, I'm reclaiming my slowness. I realized, especially this year, and when it comes to interacting with groups and people, that I'm a very nervous individual, and I tend to speak in a way that I just really want to get it over with, and I skip over a lot of insight within myself when I do that. And this was out of fear. This is out of fear of being perceived. And Trey Melvin spoke about this in one of his podcasts, Intrusive Thoughts, where perception does not equal permission. And I kind of wish I had a sibling like Trey Melvin, an older sibling, to look at me and be like, I don't care what anybody else think. Well, I lied. Because I can relate to Trey in that way, where ever since I was in middle school, I would tell myself, or try to convince myself and people around me, that I didn't care about what other people thought. And I've always, like Trey, I've always cared, but different to him, my care comes from permission, or feeling like I need permission from, family or people around me. And, like, of course you don't want that to be the truth about yourself. But I care very deeply about what people have to think, especially the people that I am inspired by, or the people that do the work. My problem is my mental health and what that means. Like, I start caring too much about that, and then I don't know if I have any mental disorders or not, but I do know that I can become manic in my social media use, and it's extremely addicting for me, and it always has been. I remember, and within reason, because growing up, like, I don't blame myself for how I've had to cope with trauma, because growing up, social media was a safe space. It was a way for me to connect with others. It was a way for me to, it was an illusion of being, I was an isolated kid. I was extremely lonely, not in the sense that I didn't have people around me. I had school friends and I have siblings, but I was a lonely kid. And as a lonely adult, I look back on my experiences and why I'm so lonely, and it just always made me wonder, like, because of, like, my sister wounds, and always being around my brothers, and only being allowed to hang out with my school friends at school until high school. That's when I started hanging out with friends in high school. And even still, I feel like it has greatly molded me into the person that I am today. And not to say that the isolation is a bad thing. I just wish I had more connections growing up. I wish I knew how to make friends. I wish I knew how to talk to people. And honestly, I don't. Like, if I'm not comfortable, then I genuinely have nothing to say. And even when I am comfortable, I'm a silent person. I don't really have a lot of words. And then that's another one of the things that runs through my mind all the time is, am I too quiet? Do I not have a personality? Am I interesting? Am I this? Am I that? And then I honestly just got to a point where I got tired of being so self-critical of myself that I just feel like every part of my life is negative, is a bad thing, or is because of a bad thing. And I hate it. I hate feeling like I'm a work in progress all the time. And, like, healing isn't linear. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever said it was. Grieving isn't linear. Healing isn't linear. You're never going to, trauma lives within the body, and your body is always going to remember said trauma at different degrees, whether it's at an extreme degree or it's at a safe degree. And like I said, I've gotten to a point where I just got tired of being self-critical of myself. And back to me practicing boredom. Being bored right now, it's only the beginning, but being bored right now, it feels like I'm being connected back with my voice and who I am. And what that looks like. And yeah.